All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to this exciting day in Sun Devil basketball. We're obviously, we know why we're all here. First things first, I'm Kyle Dodd. I'm a former player, former Sun Devil diehard, and a current color analyst for the Sun Devil team. Exciting day for me personally. I mean, me and the guy we're going to talk about here in a minute, we combined for over 1,000 assists in our careers, 2 national championships, and the 1992 most outstanding player. We did that together, so exciting day for me personally. But you guys don't have to hear from me much longer. Real quick, I want to introduce Dr. Michael Crow, Mr. Ray Anderson, and obviously Coach Bobby Hurley. Who better to talk about the exciting things, not only with what's going on in Sun Devil basketball, but with ASU in general, than Dr. Michael Crow.
Thank you. So I just want to say a couple things before Vice President Ray Anderson, Vice President for University Athletics, has an opportunity to introduce Coach Hurley, and that is first why we are involved in college athletics. It's kind of funny almost reading national magazines and others and talking about all kinds of things and these problems in college athletics and this problem in college athletics, and I keep wondering what these people are writing about. Because at the end of the day, college athletics is about finding young men and young women, giving them an opportunity to compete at the highest level of competition for non-professional athletes in our society, competing against other colleges and other teams, 1,200 of which are members of the NCAA, producing most of the athletes that go on to become American Olympic athletes, producing unbelievable future leaders and citizens as they move forward, giving opportunity for education through college athletics. Ray was a college athlete. I was a college athlete. Coach Hurley was a college athlete. Each of us had a part of our lives enabled by being able to be athletes in college. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. College athletes are students. College athletes are students pursuing their academic objectives by using athletics as a way in which to express their competitiveness, but to attain their broader objective. Their broader objective is sometimes athletic, but most often not. Most often it's something else. I won't give you the percentages, but assume it's 99% of college athletes don't have careers in professional sports, as Coach Hurley did. Many want that. I wished that I had been a better javelin thrower. There isn't a big professional career for javelin throwers, but there are other things than competing at the Kansas Relays, but you have to prove yourself. And so, second, you know, why we do college athletics. Second is Ray Anderson's assignment. So Ray's a distinguished, experienced scholar athlete, lawyer, attorney, executive, sports executive, and now leading ASU athletics. And he has 4 objectives. 1, find students who want to be students who are great athletes, help them to achieve their academic goals. 2nd, play for championships in all sports and all programs, men and women, everything that we have. 3rd, make it all work financially. There's this ludicrous notion out there that somehow that college athletics is somehow a profit-making enterprise. We only hope that we can break even and at some point have the opportunity to give resources back to the university to help the library or scholarships or something like that from our athletics programs, which is not yet the case, Ray, but
soon to be.
Soon to be. And then lastly, to build affinity, to build community, to build linkage, to tie people to Sun Devil athletics, both here at ASU and in the community more broadly. Those 4 things. If we're not doing those 4 things, we're not being successful. If a coach is not doing all 4 of those things, then we're not being successful. And so Ray has found now 4 fantastic coaches since he was appointed athletic director. I'll just mention one of them before he introduces Coach Hurley. I said to Ray, either we're going to have a wrestling team that's going to compete for national championships, or we're not going to have a wrestling team. So you need to find the best person in the world to be our coach. Zeke Jones is our coach, multi-time world champion in wrestling, NCAA champion, ASU graduate, and at the time that Ray hired him, sitting Olympic coach for the United States Olympic team in wrestling, former coach at the University of Pennsylvania. That is the person, the personage, the kind of character that we're looking for. So when Ray makes a decision that we need to move on and find a coach to help us to achieve our goals, I can guarantee you that the best coach that's out there that can help us to achieve our goals will be found. And so, Ray Anderson.
Thank you, Dr. Crow. First thing I want to do is to thank the media for coming. And then I also want to thank all of the people in the media for the respect and the patience you showed with us throughout the process. We know that we can be frustrating for you as we conduct our searches, but we do it for a purpose. Our searches are conducted with a purpose. And so while we know we cause you frustration, media, we want to thank you and appreciate your understanding. I also want to thank our senior staff that was so instrumental in getting us here today. So to Dave Cohen and Rocky Harris and Amy Schramm and Scotty Graham and Deborah, I really appreciate your work in making sure we could get this done within the process of confidentiality that was so important. And then I want to thank our campus colleagues, Jim Runn and Jim O'Brien and Rick Shangraw and Kevin Galvin and Joyce Smitherin for their role in helping us logistically to pull this off in a manner that we thought would preserve necessary privilege and confidentiality. So to all of our colleagues, we really thank you for helping us get here today. When we embarked on this search, we did so with a commitment to President Crow that we would do this. We would be broad-minded, and we would be thorough, and we would be diligent, and we would be disciplined, and we would be deliberate, and we would be dogged, and we would be patient. And our charge was to go out and find the best and the right fit for this program. And the personality qualities that were required was that we wanted integrity, we wanted passion, we wanted fire in the belly, we wanted an unwavering dedication to provide high energy to every task necessary to bring ASU men's basketball to the elite level. And we believe very, very strongly and very confidently that we have accomplished that mission. And so this search process culminated in us extending just one offer for this position: to join our university as our head men's basketball team. So we are thrilled and proud to say that Bobby Hurley has accepted that offer. And so I'm proud to introduce our new ASU men's basketball coach, Bobby Hurley.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, thank you. First of all, thanks President Crow and Ray Anderson, Dave Cohen, guys that were integral parts of the process for me initially. And this is a great day in my life for me and my family. You know, I feel like you know, I've arrived at a big time place that I could compete at the highest level and do the things that I did as a player and that I've been doing as a coach so far, and just taking it to another level. Before I get into that, I just want to thank some people also that are so important to me in my life and support me so much. I'd like to start with my wife, Leslie, who lives and dies the profession with me, and has been so supportive of my coaching career, and such a big part of the relationships that I build with the players, and my family is extremely important to that process. Also here is my daughter Cameron, my daughter Sydney, and my son Bobby here, who's in the front rows, who's like an unpaid assistant coach, you know, for the program moving forward. But it's great to have them here, along with a guy, Levi Watkins, who worked with me at Buffalo the last 2 years and will be joining the staff at Arizona State. you know, I can't believe how much I've enjoyed the opportunity that I was given at Buffalo, and I want to thank Danny White and Dr. Tripathi and all the players that gave me their hearts and souls for 2 years, that put me in the position to coach this basketball team. Without everything that my players did for me and the support that I was given from Buffalo and the fan base, again, I wouldn't have this great opportunity. So have much love for those guys and that team, and they're going to continue to do great things there. I'm looking forward to this challenge. I had a chance this year to compete against Kentucky and Wisconsin and West Virginia in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And when I was playing in those type of games, the feeling that I had to be in those games and compete against those teams was something that really drove me. And when this opportunity opened up, it was clear to me that this was the place that I wanted to be, just with everything that this university offers, the campus, you know, the practice facility, the conference. It's big time athletics, and the objective is, it's pretty clear. I mean, we have a lot of work to do, and it gets done behind closed doors when there aren't cameras in front of you, and we're going to do it at a very high level here. And the vision is clear. You know, we want to bring in kids with high character that are going to work hard, that are going to develop in our program, and that are going to get their education, and then we're going to compete for championships. You know, Pac-12 championships, and we want to go to Final Fours. There's been great tradition in the program. You know, guys like James Harden and Eddie House and players of recent memory like that have built the program and have taken it to good places and taken it to NCAA tournaments, and now, you know, we would like to take it to another level. So that's something that I'm going to dive in with all the returning players today, and to begin the discussions of working towards that objective. So I am so excited and so thrilled to be here. This is a destination job for me, a place that you know, that I want to spend a lot of time, and to be a fixture in the community, and to be a big part of the success of this whole athletic department. So at this time, I'll open it up for any questions that anyone might have.
Can I make a comment? Can I make a comment? Yeah. Would you like to introduce your parents before they spank you?
Oh, jeez.
Because you are still their son.
Yeah, Ray, that was, yeah. I mean, how did I miss that? Wow, that's bad.
You're a little excited, huh?
It is. It's an overwhelming day, as you might imagine. Mom and Dad, really sorry. This has like Sports Center and not Top 10 written all over it, maybe. So let's do this now. It's my mom here, Chris Hurley. She's here. Obviously flew in from New Jersey, and my dad, Bob Hurley Sr., who's you know, a Hall of Fame high school coach at St. Anthony, and you know, had some of the best years of my life when he wasn't yelling at me too bad at St. Anthony. But he's a legend in coaching, and you know, so much of what I've learned, you know, come from just being around him, you know, my entire life. So I'm glad that they could be here today to share it with me as well.
Hey, Bob, we seniors take care of each other. You know what I mean?
All right, at this time, we're going to open it up for some questions. If any media has questions, just go ahead and raise your hand. Please tell us who you're with and your name, and we'll try to call on you here.
The only time they never have questions is when they're certain that everything you said will happen.
Doug Haller, the Arizona Republic. Bobby, I'm sure you heard that this program has had trouble sustaining success over a long period of time. Just in your opinion, what is the key to not just, you know, making the NCAA tournament, but just kind of building that momentum to get to where you want to take the program?
Well, I mean, you have to set out your goals, and they have to be clear, and the message has to be clear. and you have to take all the appropriate steps along the way to accomplish that goal. And you know, again, it's done with for me with building relationships with the players in the program right now, and getting to know them, getting to know what makes them tick, and you know, how to maximize their experience here, and for them to have an opportunity to get comfortable with me and my style as a coach. And you know, so we're going to train at a high level. You know, I think I've been exposed to, you know, some great things in my basketball life with my experiences at Duke, my time in the NBA, the 3 great years I spent with my brother Dan at Wagner College in Rhode Island. Everything I've seen has prepared me to provide these guys, I think, with a great structure to work and develop as basketball players and people. And as we go through that process, you know, the passion and the expectations that the coaching staff will have, hopefully that will carry over and resonate with our players. And you know, when we need to win big games, they're going to have our full support, and we're going to coach very hard, and we're going to do the best possible job to get that done. It's a blue collar mentality. You know, I have a blue collar background with my upbringing, and nothing has really ever come easy to me. People have really always doubted my career as a player. They never expected I'd take it as far as I took it. There were questions about my experience coming into Buffalo, and you know, in 2 years we you know, we won a conference title for the first time in school history, and you know, that's with a team that was projected to finish 4th in its division last year. So you know, my expectations and what other people's expectations are a little different, and hopefully, you know, we'll get on the same page with the guys and get that done.
Paula Bovin with the Arizona Republic back here behind the cameras. Could you kind of expand, Bobby, on your plans to sort of attack the recruiting bases of California and Arizona, which this year, next couple of years, really rich in talent? I know a lot of people bringing up your East Coast ties and all that.
Well, I mean, I think that I have a national name. I have a name that people recognize, and my career as a player in college athletics and winning championships, you know, opens the doors for me. You know, I think my dad being a legendary high school coach that people know, I'd be able to pick up the phone and build and develop relationships with all the people I need to. When I took over at Buffalo, people had similar questions about how was I going to recruit the Midwest and be successful in a conference that was based in the Midwest with a lot of East Coast ties. But you know, we worked at it. I hired a great staff that helped recruit, you know, the major markets in our conference, and because of that job that we did, basically with all Midwest players, we were able to win our league. So it's going to, you know, take hard work and a lot of phone calls, and obviously just having a great staff. I had a tremendous staff at Buffalo with Levi Watkins and Nate Oates and Ben Wood, and we all worked terrific together. And those guys did a phenomenal job, and we'll continue to build it out here. We're going to recruit nationally as well. We're not going to just limit ourselves to any areas of the country. And in addition to that, you know, I've decided to retain Stan Johnson on the staff, which I think is going to continue the continuity. Yeah. Stan has great connections, great ties, great relationships with the players. Had several great conversations with him. I feel very comfortable with him. I think he's going to do a great job for the program.
Coach, Jim McCall, Fox Sports. Ultimately, style of play depends on personnel, but describe what style of play you would like to implement here, and also the influence of Coach K impacting your coaching philosophy today.
Yeah. Style play, a lot of it, it's a combination really of my experiences playing at Duke and how we played. And then also the influences of my brother at Rhode Island. It's a very aggressive style of man defense. I want to put pressure on our opponent, but do it in a disciplined way. I'm not the type of coach that typically runs around and traps and then gives up easy baskets. I want defensively our guys to lock down, to force difficult shots, to, you know, create some turnovers because teams are just tired of dealing with us at that end of the floor. On the flip side, I give my players freedom. We spend a ton of time on skill development and developing guys' games, and I want to put guys in great positions to make plays. This year we were in the top 25 in pace of play. It's a style that our players enjoy playing. We led our conference in scoring in conference play this year, and that's because we're going to play fast. And I think that style fits in very well in this league. We got to be in great shape to do it, and we got to work on our games at a high level. I don't know if we got a shot clock violation last year. That's not the type of coach I am. I don't micromanage every dribble, every pass. I like to put my players in great positions on the floor so that they could showcase their creativity. In addition, I am the all-time assist leader, so everyone has to play unselfishly on offense. It's one of the things that we preach and talk about. Last year's team, not this past year, but my first year, that team led our league in assists and was, I think, in the top 30 nationally in assists. So, I think it's a fun style to watch, what people enjoy watching. I think our fans in Buffalo enjoyed how we played, and a lot of that had to do with the players that we brought in the program. Those guys were really good, and we'll work with the guys here to play in a similar way.
Coach, Richard Steins here, Fox 10 Phoenix. You've obviously had a lot of success as a player, and that doesn't always translate to somebody becoming a good coach. What has been different for you? Has it been the influences from your father, brother, Coach K, or why has it translated to success as a coach for you?
Well, I think, first of all, it's what I saw, growing up. My dad was, a coach that cared about his kids a tremendous amount and was very loyal to his program at St. Anthony's and his community. And the players at St. Anthony's were almost like extended family. So that's what I saw, and that's what I've taken with me to every place that I've been, to try and create that culture of family with our players, and we'll try and do the same thing here. Nothing was ever handed to me in coaching. I started out at Wagner College, and as an assistant coach, I shared an office with two other assistant coaches. We were bumping into each other all day. I did a lot of things related to building a program. I worked very closely with my brother to learn how to be a coach. I spent 3 years doing it, and then when I knew I was ready, I had a great opportunity at Buffalo and went with it. So, and then you go maybe in the direction of being a point guard. I just think that position, for whatever reason, you're a coach on the floor. You have to have a great IQ for the game. I never had an extraordinary amount of talent, so I always had to work harder than people and prove people wrong and have a chip on my shoulder, and that's kind of how I coach too.
Coach Ashley Adamson with the Pac-12 Networks, hiding over here to your right.
Okay.
Yes. Hi. Have you had a chance to meet with your team yet? And if so, what message did you share with them? And if not, when will you get a chance to meet with them, and what will your message be?
Yes, we had a brief meeting.
Some of them are sitting right
Yeah. Yeah. We had a chance to meet briefly this morning, and again, just give them some background information on me and and some stuff about my career, and then talk about briefly on philosophy and expectations, and then we'll meet individually, and I want to get a better feel for what guys think, and it's hard for them. This is not easy. It's when there's a coaching change and a transition, it's a big thing for the student athlete. So they're important to me right now, just to make sure they're in a good place and that and they're comfortable with me, and now we just begin the process of building relationships with these guys.
Zach Rosenblatt, Arizona Daily Star, over here.
Okay.
I was just wondering, how much stock do you put into rivalry games, and I guess how familiar are you with the rivalry with Arizona?
You may not know that newspaper's in Tucson. He's sort of baiting you there.
Yeah. I got a feel for it already. Just just be the brief amount of time that I've been in town, you get a taste for it. I've been in a few of those myself in my day, just with Duke and Carolina and what that means, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. It takes two to tango.
Just ask him how it's been going lately.
Yeah. You could just take over.
No, no.
Well,
These are just facts you might not know. So. I think they're hoping to get above 500 soon. So.
It's it's kind of what I stated in my remarks. I live for those kind of games, and that's as a competitor. I think I'm a top competitor, and those are the games I want to play and compete in, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Coach Ed Cole, NBC Sports Radio, welcome.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it.
Coach, talk about the importance of having a good coaching staff beside you to help you in this transition to your new position.
It's critically important, and just like I said, with Levi now coming in and joining us right away, and Stan already being in place, more importantly, just for the players right now, they can count on having some people in place that they could trust, that they know that's going to make the transition easier. Because I'm going to be being pulled in a million directions here, and I already have the last few days. So it's amazing where you could be one day and now you're here somewhere else. So my mind's racing. I'm going to, and then obviously we have a big, recruiting weekend coming up. So, there's a lot of moving parts right now, and staff is always important. I work very closely with my guys, and we function very well at Buffalo, and it was a big part of our success, just having that trust and having qualified, high-level people that you're working with.
You're doing something later this afternoon that'll be the most difficult thing you've done in years.
And that is?
The small white ball that you're going to try to get from the pitcher's mound to the catcher's mitt at the U of A ASU baseball game. Is that tomorrow?
He's going to be
Tomorrow.
recruiting. He's going to have
Tomorrow
to
you're going to be pitching baseball.
Bobby, Eric Sorensen, Sports360AZ.com. Welcome. You
Thank you.
met with the team earlier today. What was your general message?
I mean, I stated it before. This team is, there are some talented guys in the locker room. Postseason is what it is. Making an NIT is you're playing in postseason, and I know it's not the ultimate expectation at a place like Arizona State, but it's still a very solid accomplishment. And there are guys that were on that team that I wanted to just begin the process of them getting familiar with me and just learning about each other, and then as we move forward, we'll have individual meetings, and then we'll get to business on the court, and they'll get a taste of how I work and my style, and then we just and we'll go from there.
Coach Cameron Cox, KPNX here in Phoenix. The Curtain of Distraction made a pretty big name for itself last year. What do you think of it, and have you seen it in action on TV?
I have not seen it yet, but I've heard a lot about it since I got in town yesterday, and forward to diving in and really figuring that out at a higher level soon.
Good luck on that.
Some of them are in the room also. There.
I think it's an integral part of and students are going to be excited to see. So we want to, we need that type of excitement when our guys play, because they'll respond to it.
Anybody else? All right, I think that's going to wrap it up. We're going to have a couple photo opportunities up here in front with Coach. So that'll be available. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. Excited, great day in Sun Devil.